Hello everyone, blissful to see you all. Today we are going to learn the continuation of sentence pattern. In today's class, we will learn SVA, SVOA, SVC and SVOC patterns. Come, let's begin our class. Next sentence pattern is based on subject, verb, adjunct. Example: the children played in the park. The children is the subject, played is the verb, in the park is an adjunct. An adjunct is an additional part of the sentence. Though this sentence is completed with the children played, adjunct gives us additional information. An adjunct usually answers to the question how, when, and where. Look at the example. The children played in the park. The adjunct in the park answers to the question where. In place of in the park, I can say the children played happily. Happily is an adjunct since it answers to the question how. How the children played? Happily. Happily is the adjunct. The same sentence can be written like this. The children played in the evening. In the evening answers to the question when. When the children played in the evening. In the evening is an adjunct. Using this pattern, subject, verb, adjunct, we can write so many sentences. Remember that a sentence can be written without adjunct since it is an additional part. We can see some more examples using the pattern subject, verb, adjunct. First one, she woke up in the morning. She is the subject. Woke up is the verb. In the morning is an adjunct. In the morning answers to the question when. So it is an adjunct. Next example is the girl sings sweetly. The girl is the subject. Sings is the verb. Of course, sweetly is an adjunct as it answers to the question how. How the girl sings sweetly. So sweetly is an adjunct. Next example is he went out. He is the subject. Went is the verb. Out is an adjunct. Here the word out answers to the question where. So it is an adjunct. Always remember that an adjunct answers to the questions how, when, and where. Next sentence pattern is framed using subject, verb, object, adjunct. Example: Jack wrote a letter yesterday. Here Jack is the subject, wrote is the verb, a letter is the object, yesterday is the adjunct. Here when you ask the question what Jack wrote, it gives the answer a letter. So a letter is the object. Next question, if you ask when Jack wrote the letter, it answers yesterday. So yesterday is the adjunct of this sentence. Another example for the sentence pattern using subject, verb, object, adjunct. Let me read out the sentence. Neha gave sweets happily. Here which is the subject? Yes, Neha. Then which is verb? Gave is the verb. Can you identify the object? Yes, sweets is the object. Can anybody tell which is adjunct here? Happily is the adjunct. Since the word happily answers to the question how Neha gave sweets. Happily is the answer. I think you might have been learnt what is an adjunct. Now we will move on to the next sentence pattern. Next sentence pattern is formed using subject, verb, complement. Examples. First one, this house is new. Here, this house is the subject, is the verb, new is the complement. Next sentence, he became a teacher. He is the subject, became is the verb, a teacher is the complement. Here, the words new and teacher are the complements. These two sentences will be incomplete without adding the complements like new in sentence 1 and teacher in sentence 2. So, a complement is used to complete a sentence. In fact, the subject and complement are the same person because a complement talks about a subject. Other examples. Look at the first two examples. They are players. She was angry. Here, the words players and angry are the complements. In these two sentences, complements are placed after the be form verbs. So, a complement is placed after the be form verbs like is, am, are, was, were. Let me read out next two sentences. He looks happy. The leaves turned yellow. In these two sentences, complements are placed after the verbs like looks and turned. Thus, we can say a complement can also be placed after the verbs like look, turn, became, seem, appear, etc. For example, he became hungry. The fruit is rotten. Here rotten means spoiled. His teeth appear white. From this part, hope you have understood the placement of complement in a sentence. Always remember that a complement is placed after the be form verbs and also some verbs like look, turn, became, seem, appear, etc. Next sentence pattern is subject, verb, object, complement. Example. She presented Jane a new dress. Here, she is the subject, presented is the verb, Jane is the object, a new dress is the complement. Two more examples using the pattern subject, verb, object, complement. First one, Varun learnt piano last year. Here, Varun is the subject, learnt is the verb, piano is the object, last year is the complement. Next example is, his father made him an army officer. His father is the subject, made is the verb, him is the object, and army officer is the complement. The difference between adjunct and complement is a sentence can be completed without adjunct, but without complement a sentence is incomplete. Hope you might have been learnt 4 sentence patterns and the usage of adjunct and complement in today's class. Practice them daily. That's all our today's class. See you all.